Hey, this is Shane Clacken coming to you from the location where all that wood outside comes inside. This is where we bring it so we can take it to our wood stove and create some heat, and we're thankful to have it. I'm here today to get you logged in to what's been going on for the week of February 15th to the 21st. Today is Saturday the 21st, and this relocated woodpile talk will cover the events of the week. On Monday, February 15th, I spent all day in Billings with my dad as a follow-up to his ER appointment on the previous Friday. He's got some serious edema, and we're trying to figure out how to get around that. And so we had to go down and see his primary care doctor in Billings. And we think we maybe have a few answers, but it takes some compliance too. On Tuesday, February 17th, I was out at the cabin. We bought a tower washer and dryer, a gas-fired dryer for the cabin, so we don't have to haul laundry back and forth anymore. So we can do laundry out there. Central Montana Propane came out and installed that in pretty quick order. Now we just have to go out and get the washer and dryer put into place and get it into use. So shout out to Central Montana Propane. And the big event for Tuesday was Far Out and Waiting, a fire prevention and preparedness event at the Grass Range Rural Volunteer Fire Department. The Montana Farmers Union put that event on, and they provided food for the FFA students in Grass Range to have a fundraiser. It was a 100% fundraiser, and it was successful. A lot of people there. They served all the tacos, and it was a great event for them. The big event for community members was, however, the learning about fire prevention and preparedness for this coming year. We had the Fergus County Sheriff there. We had Steve Fanning from the Department of Emergency Services there. We had firefighter training there. We had a couple people from the DNRC fire, a lady from the BLM fire. And what they did is they informed us of just how fire system works as far as dispatch, automatic calls, and mutual aid, and also the fact that the countywide preparedness plan is the document by which we put together. Actually, as part of that too, very minimally, attended a few of the meetings for the purpose of just having a coordinated plan in the event we have a big enough disaster that requires evacuation and that kind of coordination. So instead of waiting for an event to happen, having a preparedness about situations that come up ahead of time is smart work. And that's what we did. On Wednesday, February 18th, my day started out at a homeschool Constitution class that I lead at the Harvest Fellowship in Lewistown. That's a pretty big group, getting pretty inquisitive. I got them reading in the Constitution, both the U.S. Constitution and the Montana Constitution, to learn principles, civic principles of how we as citizens in a constitutional republic are supposed to participate, and the fact that we should know what are in those documents so that we can participate with information. And I really do enjoy what we're doing there. I did miss an opportunity to take my dad to the occupational therapy right across the street from where he's staying in Lewistown, so I apologize for that, Dad. And also, later that day, I chaired the Civic Education Committee, which is part of the Fergus County Semi-Quincentennial Planning Committee for the events on July 4th. You know, it is the 250th year of the signing of the Declaration of Independence this year, and it is a big event, and we're trying to make sure that we can commemorate that properly with the normal Lewistown festivities that happen on July 4th. The day begins with a run, we have a parade, and all the other things that normally happen that you're used to happening in Lewistown, we're not going to get rid of. We're going to keep those. But then in the afternoon, we're going to go out to the Trade Center. We're going to have a ceremony, an opening ceremony with flag presentation. We're going to have a reenactment of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, which the Judith Mountain Players have agreed to supply technical assistance and actors for. And also there's going to be displays out there for the area that's, was what was happening in central Montana at the time. Other committees are formed to do other things, so I can't tell you everything. But I can tell you our Civic Education Committee is on the road to making sure we know if there's any budgetary requirements that we can get data put together to put in a request for supplemental grant. You know, the Fergus County Commissioner, who's in charge of this effort, Jennifer Sanders, she was able to corral $8,500, and if there's any other expenses that cannot come out of normal money, we're going to be ready to put in for extra grants. On Thursday, the day started out at KXLO on KLXO Live at 10:20. I also videotaped that interview in KXLO Live Studio, which you can see on my Facebook page. And we talked about topics all the way from the fact that I'm trying to get everything out on social media and the newspaper and the radio, because I know not everybody reads the newspaper, nor does everybody listen to radio, nor does everybody take part in the social media, Facebook, X, and Instagram, and also my YouTube channel. So I'm hoping that we can eventually get the information to everybody from whatever form that they use. One of the big topics we talked about there, of course, was the semi-quincentennial planning, but another huge one, you know, this constitutional republic requires voter participation, and it is a requirement, a duty of citizens to vote, and in order to vote, we need poll workers. It is hard these days to get volunteers to do things, and it's no different in the poll workers. You do get paid for that. You're not going to make a living at it, but we do need poll workers. They're necessary. We have a lot of precincts around the county that we need help for, and Janelle asked that we need about 100 people to help with all the polls required, and there is a training coming up in March. I don't recall the date off the top of my head. I should remember that, but just to let you know, there's 2 dates. Starts at 5:30 at the Council on Aging, and both days are not required. It's only about an hour and a half. Just attend one day. You can be certified poll worker, and we need you because that's how this constitutional republic operates, is by voting. And Friday, the 20th, I met with a constituent about data centers. You know, data centers are becoming a big topic. There are 3 meetings around the state regarding data centers. I believe one has already happened, but we're going to have one locally in Lewistown on March 19th at 6 p.m. at the Council on Aging. I urge you to attend. I think there's quite enough information going around that it's hard to all assimilate and put together, and we need to basically understand what that information is. And so I hope that you have the opportunity to come to Counseling on Aging, March 19th at 6 p.m. There is a lot of public interest in it, so I believe there's going to be a good crowd. And then on Saturday, February 21st, today, the day I'm doing this video, we are in the final day of tournaments for basketball. My hometown Grass Range co-opted with Winnett a while back to form a basketball team. So the Winnett Grass Range girls basketball team played this morning at 9:30, and the boys play tonight at 8:30. And good luck to the games tonight. And this morning, I listened to the game, and you know, it didn't turn out so good. And Lord, I just ask that you just keep everybody safe going to all these games and traveling back and forth, because you know, there's a lot of people out on the road, and the roads are pretty decent right now, but we just ask for safety for them. And that completes my wrap up, my logging you in to what's going on in central Montana this last week, the 15th through the 21st. In order for you to stay logged in, I do encourage you to watch or listen to the radio, read the newspaper, go to my Facebook page, Shane Clacken for Montana, also my YouTube, Shane Clacken for Montana, and also X, Instagram, so that we can make sure that you know what's going on. Thank you.